see that twinkle in his eye or that smirk. And, you know, I just get like transported. And it's just hard to see.
This isn't a rumor. This isn't speculation. This is the kind of update that changes how a story ends. A new detail has surfaced, and it's reframing everything people thought they understood about Bruce Willis's life right now. Time feels different after this, and the silence says more than words ever could.
One of Hollywood's toughest heroes is facing a battle for his own health now and stepping away from the cameras to do it.
Frontotemporal dementia doesn't crash into your life. It sneaks in. It rearranges furniture quietly. It whispers instead of screams. Emma Hemming Willis has said that's what made it so cruel. Nothing felt urgent until everything suddenly was. Bruce's childhood stutter returned. Conversations shortened. His legendary presence dimmed, not dramatically, but inconveniently, subtly, the way people don't notice until they absolutely have to. When the family first announced his retirement in 2022, the world heard aphasia and assumed pause, not permanence. But by February 2023, the update landed like a gut punch, FTD, not the forgetful kind of dementia people casually misunderstand, but the kind that targets behavior, personality, and language, the kind that dismantles who you are before it touches what you remember. For an actor whose power lived in dialogue, timing, and command, it was a uniquely brutal irony. The diagnosis gave the family clarity and terror. 7 to 13 years. No cure, no roadmap, just progression. But instead of hiding, they did something rare in celebrity culture. They told the truth. They shared it all, not for sympathy, but for awareness. Because if Bruce Willis couldn't fight this with fists or firearms, maybe he could still help by forcing people to say the disease's name out loud. This wasn't an ending, it was a redefinition. And once named, the disease stopped being a mystery and started being a relentless clock.
Just like that dog.
Happy birthday to you.
Right at it. Yeah.
If frontotemporal dementia isolates its victims, the Willis family responded by closing ranks. Emma, Demi, 5 daughters, one shared center of gravity. What could have fractured became fortified. Hollywood divorces rarely age gracefully, but this one turned into something sturdier than headlines. Teamwork. The rules of connection changed overnight. Progress stopped being measurable. Doing great left the vocabulary. As Rumor Willis admitted, wellness doesn't mean improvement anymore. It means presence. It means hugs without recognition, love without confirmation, gratitude for moments that don't repeat. Whether Bruce knows who's holding him doesn't matter. What matters is that he feels it. Public sightings became unintentional statements, a beach walk with a caregiver's hand steadying him, a soft smile from the passenger seat of an SUV, frail, calm, alive. Each image carried more weight than any interview ever could. Then came the hardest decision. In August 2025, Bruce moved into a nearby one-story home with round-the-clock care. Emma called it brutal and necessary. Safety demanded it, stability required it, and heartbreak came free with the paperwork. But in stepping back from constant caregiving, Emma stepped closer to something else, being his wife again. The family didn't separate, they reorganized. Meals are shared, love circulates. The clock is broken, but the bond is relentless. Emma Hemming Willis didn't plan to become the spokesperson for anticipatory grief, but dementia doesn't ask for consent, it assigns roles. In her writing, especially her essay, The Holidays Look Different Now, Emma exposes the part of illness no one romanticizes, the mourning that starts before death. She misses the Bruce who made pancakes, charged into snow days, led traditions. Now she's the one untangling lights, cursing softly, not out of resentment, but longing. The grief isn't dramatic, it's domestic, and that's what makes it unbearable. She says it plainly, joy and sadness coexist. Neither cancels the other. Love just learns to stretch. Emma's honesty cracked open a larger truth. Caregivers are disappearing, statistically, emotionally, physically. With mortality rates 63% higher than their peers, many don't survive the role. That statistic changed her life. It forced her to protect herself, not selfishly, but strategically. Her book, The Unexpected Journey, became the manual she never had. Bruce is now nonverbal, but not unreachable. He lights up with touch, with presence, with family. Emma doesn't need words anymore. She needs proof of feeling, and she still gets it. In a world obsessed with loud love, she's teaching everyone how quiet devotion actually works. Bruce Willis no longer speaks publicly, but the internet still narrates his existence like it's a collective vigil. Every rare sighting becomes a headline. Every photo turns into analysis. Is he okay? Is he worse? Is this goodbye? And the brutal truth is, none of those questions have satisfying answers anymore. When Bruce was spotted walking along a beach, gripping a caregiver's hand, the image ricocheted across timelines, not because it was scandalous, but because it was ordinary. A man walking carefully, a man needing help, a man who once ran barefoot over broken glass, now relying on railings to stay upright. The contrast did all the talking. Then came the January 2026 sighting. Bruce in the passenger seat of an SUV, relaxed, smiling faintly. Frail, yes, but peaceful. And that's what stopped people mid-scroll. Not tragedy, not spectacle, calm. The kind of calm that only arrives after a long surrender to reality. These images aren't invasions, they're mirrors. They reflect what illness actually looks like when it's no longer dramatic. No hospital beds, no emergency sirens, just maintenance, monitoring, love on a schedule, and a family guarding his dignity while the world tries to decode his condition from pixels. Bruce Willis didn't vanish. He transformed into someone the public doesn't know how to categorize. Not gone, not present, just here. And in a culture addicted to loud endings, that quiet persistence feels unsettling. August 2025 marked a shift that Emma Heming Willis will likely carry forever. Bruce moved into a nearby one-story home with full-time professional care. Not far, not abandoned, but no longer under the same roof. And somehow that made it worse. Emma called it the hardest decision of her life, not because it meant less love, but because it meant admitting limits. Dementia doesn't just take from the diagnosed, it drains the environment. Safety became a concern. Stability for their young daughters became non-negotiable. Love alone couldn't cover every need anymore, so structure stepped in. And here's the part nobody says out loud. Letting professionals help doesn't mean you love less. It means you want everyone to survive, including yourself. Emma said the move allowed her to get back to being his wife. That sentence carries more weight than any vow, because caregiving can erase intimacy. It turns partners into managers. It exhausts romance into routine. The house didn't create distance, it created balance. Shared meals still happen, the family still rotates through his days. The walls changed, not the bond. But the grief did evolve, because now love lives with acceptance, not resistance. This wasn't giving up, it was choosing sustainability over martyrdom. And that choice, while quiet, might be the bravest moment in this entire story. Bruce Willis is now nonverbal. That sentence lands heavy because language was always his weapon, his rhythm, his dominance. And yet, love found another dialect. Touch, presence, familiar energy. He holds hands, he kisses cheeks, he responds not to words, but to warmth. Emma doesn't chase what's gone anymore. She honors what remains. She doesn't measure progress, she measures connection. And that's the radical shift dementia forces. Success stops being improvement and starts being moments. A smile, calm breathing, recognition without names. This isn't the ending fans imagined. No farewell montage, no final monologue, just a man surrounded by people who refuse to leave him behind emotionally, even as parts of him slip away neurologically. The family doesn't pretend it's hopeful, but they insist it's meaningful. Bruce's legacy is no longer just die-hard quotes and box office dominance. It's the way his family is rewriting what devotion looks like under pressure, what masculinity looks like without strength, what heroism looks like without speech. The world lost the Bruce it knew, but the man didn't disappear. He became quieter, smaller, and somehow more human than ever. Bruce Willis's final chapter isn't cinematic, but it's real, and Emma Heming Willis made sure the world didn't look away. This isn't a story about defeat. It's about adaptation, endurance, and loving someone beyond recognition. The action hero is gone. The man is still here, and in the silence, love keeps talking.